All right, so I'm standing outside the Houston Galleria Project Management Toastmasters, of which I'm one of the founding members. I love this club because it's such a great environment, and I'm being quiet because there's a class going on next door. I'm coming into the Toastmasters meeting now, and one of the things that I wanted to share with you is why I feel Toastmasters is so important. And I'll show you the room in just a moment. Why I feel Toastmasters is important is, though, even though I'm helping a lot of people with their communication skills and I coach them on their presentations, I need a place where I can practice and I can get better. And Toastmasters clubs provide a safe environment to actually do that, as well as a place for experimentation. And that's where I feel I gain a lot is before I do something in front of a larger audience or in front of a paying crowd, I can do it in front of a group of people that I know and trust that will give me honest feedback on whether it worked, whether it didn't, and how to adjust it. Now I'm going to show you real quick the room. So we're a little light on the attendees right now because it's still a little early. Everybody wave. These are most of the, elder statesmen, is that a good way of wording it for the club? Oh, nobody likes that. Would you mind sharing your name and why you joined Toastmasters?
Sure. My name is Harold Eaton. I have been involved with Toastmasters off and on for 30 years. And I joined Toastmasters because any skill not practiced gets rusty.
There you go.
Number two is that I've always learned new things. I don't know everything, and amazingly enough, I do learn things from other people. Number three is I come for the fun. I like speaking in front of a group. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Harold. Ivan, thank you for the comments. He's saying good, and he wanted a wave. We just had a person join named House. Lori, am I going to grab you, or you want me to ignore you for the moment? Move on? Okay, I'll move on. This is Adele. She's one of the founding members. Adele, why did you even help us start the Toastmasters Club?
Well, my father was a Toastmaster, and I heard about it when I was younger. And the other thing is I took speech in college. And in college, I was real good at the 2- and 3-minute speeches and really, really bad at anything longer. So I decided to try and sharpen my skills for the longer, and then it turned out to be a benefit when I had my stroke because it helped me with my word power, which I'm still working on.
Can you, if you don't mind, just elaborate a little bit on that, because I know it was a very long road to recovery, but you did so well. And it's such an inspiring story.
Well, one thing that Toastmasters teaches you to do is how to speak, which they encourage you to be very clear with your diction and get into a pace that your mouth and your mind can coordinate. And when word power from a stroke is a major issue, it really helps a lot. The other thing that happens to stroke victims, and some admit it and some don't, is there's a flee instinct when there's a bunch of people around. And one thing that Toastmasters is always common with, there's always a lot of people around, so your comfort zone begins to expand.
Thank you, Adele. Claudia, do you want moving over to the other young lady? So Claudia is actually our past president. She's been with the club a couple of years now.
3 years.
3 years now. Boy, how time flies. Why did you join Toastmasters?
I joined Toastmasters for several reasons, but it is important to say that one of the main reasons was to improve my communication skills. Being English my second language and having my own business is extremely important to deliver that right message to my customers.
There you go.
And that's what I'm doing every day, that I try to deliver my message. Is just practice what I have learned here in Toastmasters. The other thing is that I was very scared 3 years ago of just even open my mouth and just do an impromptu speech, and that's what Table Topic has done to me. Help me to be less fear of doing just impressive speeches and deliver a good message.
Thank you.
Having impact in my customers.
So that's why you stay as well, right?
Yes.
Good. Anybody else before I get to Alan in the back of the room? No, I've seen lots of people shake their heads no. They don't want anything to do with it. We're going to come back to Alan. Alan is another one of our elder members, elder in that he's been with the club a while. Not meant in any other way, shape, or form. I need to work on how I introduce people. Alan, I know that you have a little bit of a history with Toastmasters. Can you explain what it was like when you first walked in the door and what Toastmasters has done for you?
Well, I started in 2009. Like a lot of people, I got laid off in January, and I figured with 20 years of experience, I would find a job in 3 months. November came around, I was still looking. I realized it was my communication skills and my interviewing skills that were lacking. I joined Toastmasters, and the first speech you have to do in Toastmasters is your icebreaker. It's to talk about yourself. It's only 4 to 6 minutes. I froze at 3 minutes into that speech.
Yeah.
Now, go 2 years later. I have decided to get baptized in my church, and the RCIA director wanted me to speak in front of our congregation. She put me in a pure white baptismal gown, and I had to give a 10-minute speech in front of 800 to 1,200 people, and I nailed it. That's what it can do.
And that's why you stay?
And to continue to improve.
Great.
And the other thing, Matt, is when Alan first started, he was an extensive stutterer.
It's true. I'd forgotten about that.
And it was hard to he needed to say, And now he enunciates himself very, very well. And we've all forgotten about it, too.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing that I want to say as I wrap this up is that every Toastmasters club is different. We all follow the same format, but the personalities that are present in the club is going to change how the club is perceived and how the club feels. So I would encourage you, if you're going to look into Toastmasters, go ahead and look, but visit a few different clubs, because the personalities and the way that they greet you and who's there and the levels of experience are all different at every club. And some places you're going to have a lot more value than others. I hate saying that, because Toastmasters should be consistent. It's a great organization. But I've visited a lot of different clubs, and I've seen there's a wide variety of benefits. And it depends on who's in the room at the time. I almost hate to word it that way, but I'm sure if I turn the camera around, a lot of people will give me a thumbs up or nod on that. So do you guys agree with me that it really does matter who's in the room for the club to be effective?
Yes.
Very much so.
The last thing that I want to do is, though, don't be intimidated. I encourage you to visit these clubs because they're meant to be a growth experience. They're meant to be something you can learn from. Even people that are brand new where English is their second language, people that have immense stage fright, or people that think they know everything, like I did when I walked in the door, only to learn that I had a lot of room for improvement. All right, so this is Matt Morey. We're about to get our meeting started. I just wanted to share why I'm with Toastmasters and a few of the people that I hang out with almost every Wednesday night. So, as always, I'm committed that you will get more with Morey, and here's to you and your team exploding into success.